If the war in Ukraine has taught us anything, it's that drones have fundamentally changed the rules of warfare. Shotgun and stock up on birdshot. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. All right. 2024 Idaho gun law changes have seen some notable stuff with a continued focus on expanding gun rights in Idaho. So Idaho is one of the few states in the U.S. that is really darn free when it comes to gun ownership. Obviously, I love owning guns. I love shooting guns. A lot of you do too. I get it. And we strongly feel that the Second Amendment is extremely important to preserve our way of life. Some out there will argue otherwise, but these laws are pretty cool in my opinion. First up, expansion of the Stand Your Ground law. So major change in 2024 is the proposal to expand Idaho's Stand Your Ground law. The legislation aims to provide criminal immunity for individuals who act in self-defense, protecting them from politically motivated prosecutions. Does that happen anywhere in the U.S.? That sounds familiar. Maybe at a federal level. Interesting. Also introduces a provision allowing a pretrial hearing where the defendant can challenge the evidence used to hold them. Good things. Anytime we're pushing the needle in the right direction, I think it's a good thing personally. Next up, restoring firearm preemption. So after a 2023 Idaho Supreme Court decision weakened preemption laws, those are laws that limit local governments from imposing gun restrictions. So that would be like one town in Idaho that might want to locally decide to impose gun restrictions. State law said that's a no-no. New efforts are being made to reinstate these protections. A proposed fix would grant immunity to local governments, private organizations, and insurance companies that allow firearms on public property, helping reduce legal liability concerns. That's one of the things they will push back with. Is like if something happens on our private property and a citizen's carrying a gun and uses that gun in lawful defense, they feel like they might be criminally liable or civilly liable. So this law will aim to prevent that from happening. Also a good thing in my opinion. Okay, here's a cool one. Senate Bill 1310, campus carry laws. So a bill has been introduced to remove restrictions on carrying concealed weapons on public college and university campuses. Oh my gosh, that sounds so scary. This ongoing debate focuses on preserving Second Amendment rights on public property and preventing colleges from implementing their own gun control measures. You still need to have a concealed carry license if you're on their property. However, pretty cool because you always see those signs on college campuses that say, this is a gun-free zone. Well, it must be safe then. That's great. All right, who wants a Gadsden Flag license plate? Finally, Idaho's getting some cooler license plates. That's one of my big beefs up here. They've got, the traditional stuff, but if you see license plates like the ones they have in Montana, Montana's got some pretty legit license plates. So Idaho, there's a proposal out there to bring a Gadsden Flag license plate in. That's the yellow one that says, "Don't tread on me." It's got the snake on it. Very popular flag up here in North Idaho. Cool option. Hopefully it opens the doors to some more. My favorite one in Montana, it's a blue line, that's support law enforcement, blue line license plate, and it's just all black with a blue line across it. It's sweet. So maybe Idaho will get there eventually. But the proceeds will go to support firearm education and training programs. So it aims to promote responsible gun ownership, particularly among younger Idahoans. Fantastic. Bring up that new generation being responsible gun owners. I love it. All right, here's a 2025 proposed law similar to one that I just talked about. This is firearm immunity for employers. The proposal aims to provide immunity to employers who allow employees to lawfully carry firearms at work. This would shield businesses from liability if an employee uses a firearm in a lawful manner during an incident. Pretty fantastic, kind of a no-brainer, but there are a lot of businesses and public entities that don't currently allow their employees to carry firearms. So this is a good one, in my opinion. And you might be wondering, Can teachers carry guns here in Idaho? I happen to know of one specific school district right here in North Idaho that has a sign out front that says the teachers may be armed. What better of a deterrent to a potential active violent assailant than a sign like that that says, hey, you want to come on this campus and you want to harm our most innocent and cherished little humans? Take it at your own risk because you're going to face a deadly force if you do so. Good law. I love it. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the notifications bell so you can stay up to date on all of our latest content. We are, believe it or not, a real estate channel. Our team is comprised of all former and current first responders and veterans, and we will kill it for you if you're looking to move up here, or if you already live up here and are looking to make a move, we've got your back. Remember, if you're looking to move right now or 12 months from now, it doesn't matter. Give us a call. Let's get the conversation started and get after it. Also, if you have not already, please check out our podcast. It's also called The North Idaho Experience. You can find it on all podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all the big ones. Also on Rumble, and if you want the uncensored version. So hit us up there. Check that out. That is not real estate related. That is all about the community up here. We get fantastic members of the community come on our podcast and we have conversations with them, and it covers a wide variety of topics. They're very interesting. It is my favorite thing to do. So check that out. All right. Next one up is for all my cops out there. This is some good stuff coming down the pipeline. I love this. And if you're not a cop, this is interesting stuff. So stick around too. This is good info. The Leosa Reform Act of 2024, HR 354. Leosa is the Law Enforcement Officers Safety Act, also known as HR 218. That is a bill, act, whatever, that provides for retired law enforcement and guys who were law enforcement for 10 years, and maybe you didn't make it to retirement agent, but you hit a minimum of 10 years and then you quit or found it, whatever. You have a lot of ability to carry firearms. There's reciprocity in every state. Currently, you have to abide by the magazine capacity limits of whatever state you're in, which is stupid. So these new rules, if this passes, are fantastic, and I'm really excited about this. The other thing that I don't love about HR 218, and I have mine, is that you have to requalify every year. That's kind of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. So they did some things to address that. Let me read through these for you guys real quick. Here's some exceptions for Leosa qualified individuals. You can carry a firearm within a national park. That's within the federal building and facilities within national parks. That's fantastic. I don't want to go to Yellowstone and not carry my 10 milli. Big old grizzly bears over there. Okay. Let's see here. That allows possession in a gun-free school zone for Leosa qualified individuals, including school grounds, stadiums, ball fields, etc. Pretty cool. I recently went to a concert at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. Nate Smith was in town. Great concert, by the way. And I noticed nobody was checking anybody for weapons. So pretty cool. Could have carried a gun in there. That would have been a great thing. All right. Next up, allows possession on public transportation, buses, ferries, trains, etc. There's not a whole lot of public transportation up here. It's here. I don't know if anybody uses it, but it's here. So that's cool. Civilian access facilities, post offices, Social Security Administration buildings, public and common areas of courthouses. Now they do set the security level themselves depending on what agency it is. So there may be some exceptions to that, and I can kind of understand that one. Here's the big one for me. Removes magazine capacity restriction imposed by states. So if you want to go over to a communist state to visit your brother, you will be able to carry a standard capacity magazine in whatever firearm you have and not be limited to their stupid little rules about 10 rounds or less or whatever it is. That is a big deal to me because that is very annoying. So pretty cool. You may still have some trouble getting or purchasing magazines from an out-of-state dealer if you live in one of those zones. Next one up, here's the next big one that I absolutely love. Allows a state to extend the qualification period from 12 months to 36 months. One of my big beefs here in Idaho is that you can go get your enhanced CCW. It's an 8-hour class. Not a big deal, really. But that's good for 5 years. Now, HR 218, Leosa, is currently only good for 1 year. Super annoying. By the time you get it all set up, you're ready to requalify. It's stupid. So this would extend it to 3 years. I think that's a fantastic idea because, yes, you should requalify as guys get older. You know, the hands get a little shaky. Things start to slip. So it's important to qualify and make sure you're still capable of actively handling that firearm. But I think 1 year is a little bit much. I think 3 years I would love to see it go to 5, but I'll take 3. That's a big plus in my opinion. And then the other one is that you can get qualified by any certified law enforcement firearms instructor in your state. That's pretty cool. I think it's currently like that though. That might not be a new one. But those are some of the new rules for Leosa HR 218 for all my cops, retired cops out there, or guys that did a minimum of 10 years and then got out. I don't blame you. Did similar thing. And I think that's great because up here, especially in North Idaho, it is the largest concentration of retired and current law enforcement anywhere in the world. Prove me wrong. You can't throw a stick without hitting a cop up here, a retired cop, which in my opinion is great. Makes it a really safe community. You walk around up here and you look around, you're like, hell yeah, 75% of these people got my back if shit goes down. I love that. So I think it's great. Now these guys and gals can carry in more places. They don't have to qualify as much. And if they go out of state to one of these communist states, they can not adhere to their stupid rules. That's a plus in my opinion. Say what you will about transplants moving to Idaho from other states. I talk about this all the time. The majority of them are extremely conservative. The truth is they understand how bad things can get and they're willing to put in the work to make sure this beautiful state doesn't go down the woke rabbit hole. For example, I've talked about this before as well. My buddy BZ over at North Idaho Arms, he's fighting the good fight for the Second Amendment. He came from Washington. He understood how Washington used commerce laws to circumnavigate the Second Amendment and put a limit on importing, they call them high capacity magazines, but they're really standard capacity magazines, importing them. And that was one of the ways they worked to limit lawful gun owners from enjoying their freedom. Okay, that's a sneaky little way to do it. So BZ was all over that, and we connected him with Jordan Redmond, one of our local politicians, and they had a conversation, and things are moving forward to put into effect a law here in Idaho that will never allow Idaho to use commerce laws to infringe the Second Amendment. Fantastic. So that's a perfect example of someone coming from out of state and employing the things that they learned in another communist state and working to actively maintain our rights here. Because no matter what you think, if you grew up here, yes, it's a beautiful place. You might hate that people are moving here. I get it. But things will not stay the same unless we actively work to make them stay the same. It's so important. Getting the message out is important. Getting out to the voting box is the most important thing that you can do, and researching the people that you are voting for. We do lots of podcasts with local politicians and we talk about these things. So if you need information, there are ways to get it so you can learn about who you're voting for. Okay, someone's gonna get on here and comment about my video and say that all laws related to firearms are unconstitutional because of the Second Amendment. I hear you. Don't yell at me. I'm not doing anything about that. But who can do something about that is your elected officials. So make sure you vote. So if you're out there, a little keyboard warrior, and you want to talk smack, make sure you're getting the voter polls and voting for your elected officials wherever you live. It's extremely important. And then find them, get in their ear, send them an email. Don't be all confrontational, but send them an email. Let your opinion be heard, because that's the society that we live in. That's one of the wonderful things about living here in the United States. You can do that. I have found personally that a lot of the politicians locally here are very receptive to that. And you can have a sit down, have coffee with them and voice your opinion, and maybe something will be done about it. So don't yell at me, go yell at them. If you've ever heard of a rhino, that's a thing here. That's Republican in name only. People are actively infiltrating political parties. I'm sure it's happening on both sides to get their way into office and then subtly make changes over time and erode our way of life up here. So that's why it's so dang important to get out and vote. That's my message. Please do it. Love your neighbor. Don't be a jerk. We can all get through this together. I am very hopeful. And if I'm not, I live in North Idaho, so it's the best place to be if goes down in the rest of the country. Hey, quick shout out to Fernand Rod and Gun Club. It's a private range right here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's the best range in town, in my humble opinion. A lot of the video we shot today is at Fernand Gun Club. $300 a year for a membership. It's behind a gate, so you're not getting a bunch of drunk hillbillies out there shooting with you, which is a good thing. So check them out. It's a great facility, tons of training there. If you're new to firearms, you can get beginner classes. They have a classroom, bathrooms, all the stuff. Right here in Coeur d'Alene, great place. Fernand Rod and Gun Club. Thank you guys for joining me on this update of gun laws for 2024, 2025. I hope you enjoy the footage of us shooting at the range. We had some cool guns out there today. One of my favorite, my partner Eric has a Genesis Arms Gen 12. It is a semi-auto AR style shotgun. That thing is unreal. I'm looking to get them on the podcast soon because I want to talk about what they're doing. They have a full auto version of that with a suppressor, and I want to shoot it really bad. So that's my goal. I will get there. And I may have left you with more questions than answers. That's okay. Shoot me a comment, shoot me an email. Would love to talk about it. And if you want to move to a free state like beautiful Idaho, give us a call, text, or email. I don't care if it's a year out. Just start the conversation. Shoot me an email. Pretty low commitment. I will respond, and we will get those questions answered for you guys. Also, please check out our podcast, The North Idaho Experience. It's on all podcast platforms. If you want to see the video version, it's on YouTube and Rumble. Soon to be on Spotify as well for video. So great way to learn about the community up here. We find some fantastic people up here because there are a ton of them, and we just talk about stuff. Could be a lot of different topics, but it's usually pretty interesting and informative. So thank you guys. I will catch you on the next video.